Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki LaRose. If you're new here, I'm a celebrity makeup artist in Los Angeles, and for today's video, I want to share with you guys my truly authentic, everyday, quick face makeup routine. So let's get right into it. So let's jump right into it. As usual, I have my skin prepped. I have my moisturizer on, my serum, and my sunscreen. I might do an update video for you guys on what I like to prep my skin with before I do my makeup, but until then, I am going to just kind of rehydrate my skin because it's been sitting on my skin for a while now. And for that, I'll use the Caudalie Beauty elixir. This is just it doesn't do much for your skin, I'm not gonna lie, but what it does for me mentally is a lot and totally worth it. It's like a mini little spa trip for your skin. It smells incredible. It's going to rehydrate your skin. It is very soothing. I feel like it's very soothing to my skin, and it just refreshes your skin before you go in with your face makeup products, so like your foundation. So let's get a nice spritz going. Whew. It was cold. So that's gonna dry down. In the meantime, I just wanna talk to you guys a little bit more about why I'm doing this video. I have gotten down such a solid routine with my face makeup, and I haven't, like for the last 2 months, I'd say I've been using this almost exact routine. So I just thought it'd be fun to share it with you guys. So let's get into foundation, because that's actually what I do first on myself. Not what I do on my clients first, but what I do for myself first is usually do my face makeup. So I've been using this religiously. It's the OneSize Beauty Turn Up the Base BBB Cream. So it's a beauty blur balm. It does not have SPF in it, which most of the time when I'm doing like a really quick makeup on myself, I like to do an SPF, like a tinted moisturizer type product, even though I already wear a sunscreen. In my head, I just feel better about having loads of sunscreen on my face, even though I know, don't tell me that it doesn't, they cancel each other out and all those things. Like, you're not getting extra protection if you wear different layers of sunscreen on your skin. I know, but mentally, I like the way it makes me feel. I like to open up the actual cap of it and not the click part, because this gets really messy and it kind of drives me nuts. So I just twist it off, I squeeze it out, and I'm usually on the top of my hand, and then I dip my brush into my hand. But instead I'm gonna dip into my painter's palette. So I start pretty much always in the center of my face. And you know, I really wanted to share this look with you guys because there is not a ton of skill involved with the way I do my makeup in the morning, and I just thought it'd be helpful because, you know, makeup does not have to be complicated. Even for me, I'm a pro makeup artist. I don't do some crazy routine on myself every day just because I could. It's not necessary. So I'm just getting that foundation on all over. I really don't apply that much foundation on the outer part of my face, like for an everyday look. And because again, it's just not necessary. I don't need to. And I don't think that most people need to be quite honest. Most of us in general need most of our coverage in the center of our face. So bringing it all around this area and close to here, unless you don't have a good match going on with your foundation and you need to completely cover your face to make it blend, it's just not necessary. For me, this product in particular is an incredible color match for my skin. So any parts that I leave out where I don't apply the foundation, you can't tell. My next step in my everyday face makeup routine is usually a cream bronzer. In fact, it's always a cream bronzer. I switch back and forth from different brands, but one of my all-time go-tos is the Fenty Matchstick in Mocha. This color for me just really works for my skin tone. So I'm gonna dip right into my bronzing stick with this is an angled brush from Japanesque. It's a 961 brush. I've had this brush for a long time. It might be discontinued, but I like to dip into the product, warm it up, and then directly apply it to my face. Any day during the week, if I'm doing my makeup, I'm in a big hurry. So even when I'm in a big hurry, I still don't swipe it and swatch it directly onto my skin because I just find that it tears up my makeup that's underneath, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna start by warming up my cheeks. And like I've mentioned before, the goal for me is not to contour my cheeks. I just want to bring warmth to my skin. So If you're at home and you're thinking, well, you know, that doesn't look like a great contour placement. I'm not trying to contour. I'm just trying to warm up my skin. And I think that's one of the most flattering ways to wear a cream bronzer or cream contour product, is just to give warmth to your skin. So now I'm gonna hit my forehead. This is one of my favorite places to warm up. I love a good warmed up bronzed forehead, especially on myself. I think that it just really is flattering. So even if I'm in a crazy hurry in the morning and I have like no time to do my makeup, I won't skip this. I will not skip it. And if you guys are at home and you're noticing these big dents on my forehead, which now that I'm looking in a mirror, I can't help but notice them. I know they're pretty bad. I was wearing a really tight hat, like a really tight sun hat, just earlier before I shot this video, and it left a bunch of dents on my forehead, and that I couldn't like rub out. So that's all that is. And then getting this side of my face. And just tapping it in. I'm not aggressively buffing it. I'm just tapping it and really pressing it into my skin. And then whatever's left over my brush, which you can see is hardly anything. Not saying that I need to contour into my chin, but I just like to bring a little bit of color around this area of my jaw. And then we're gonna move on to my nose. Same thing I always talk about. I'm not trying to contour my nose at all. I'm just trying to bring balance. So again, I know I talk about this all the time, but if you have cream bronzer or any powder bronzer, any bronzer in general on the perimeter of your face, like on the outskirts of your face and on your cheeks, if you leave out the center of your face, which is your nose, it could just look really unfinished. So taking the same cream bronzer and a fluffy brush. This is from BK Beauty. I'm gonna work across my nose, underneath the tip of my nose, and then work it into my brow bone area. And sometimes I'll just do my cream bronzer all across my crease and call it a day, and I won't do any other eye makeup other than mascara. If I'm in a really big hurry, like that's what I'll do. So same thing on the side. And I'm not being super precise with the blending. I'm really just getting this on and I'm lightly blending back and forth just to bring color and warmth to my nose. And then one of my favorite tricks, if I do have time, I will do this. I'll give my lips a little extra something and then tap it in. So now that our cream bronzer is on and we're blended and we're looking nice and warmed up, now we're gonna go in with concealer. I really have been liking this one a lot. This is from Colourpop. It's their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I got the shade Medium 85N. So this kind of tone in concealer for me and what I need works so well because this has more of a pink undertone to it, which is so great for me because if I don't have a lot of time, I'm not gonna color correct. I'm definitely not gonna spend time color correcting, let me just say that. Instead, I'll use a concealer that has more of a pink undertone to it. So that way it's going to color correct and brighten and conceal at the same time. So I'm knocking all those out all at once. So this is my product, so I'm gonna directly apply it under my eye. And then with whatever's left over, I'm going to just bring it down my nose. I'm going to give my chin, the top of my chin, a little highlight. And then if I'm feeling fancy and I have a little extra time, I'll dip back in. And I'll get this area where it's a little bit darker because I have the shadow from my nose. So I want to bring this area forward a bit so there's not so much shadow. And then I will do a teeny bit between my brows. That's if I have extra time in the morning, but like half the time it's just going to be this area right here, and I do a little bit down the bridge of my nose. But like I said, if I'm feeling fancy and I got the time for it, I will bring it in those areas as well. Now that I've let my concealer dry down just a little bit, I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty sponge. This looks like a beauty blender. It's not. I actually have a video coming up where I'm gonna talk about the joys of this sponge. So you guys just wait. And in case you guys don't know why I do this, the reason why I like to let my concealer dry down, specifically under my eyes, because I normally like to tap it in with a damp beauty sponge, and when you do that, these can pick up a lot of the coverage and a lot of the product under your eye or in general. And I don't want to lose any of the coverage under my eyes. So what I do is I let it dry down so that way it doesn't lose its coverage when I go in and tap it in and blend it with a damp beauty sponge. And in case you're wondering why I don't just use a brush to blend it in, I just don't prefer a brush under my eye. I think it's a little too rough at times. So I just like to be gentle and just tap it in. Before we set the concealer, I will go in with my cream blush, and 9 times out of 10, if you catch me in real life and you see me walking down the street or you know me, I'm probably wearing this blush. It's the Westman Atelier blush. This is their cream blush stick, and this is in the shade Petal. It's just a beautiful everyday pink. It's so pretty. I have one in my kit. I have one. I also have like a mini one on backup that I got for free from one of my friends. I love this color. It's a great everyday blush. And even though this is my product and I could just directly apply it to my skin, once again, I don't do that with cream products. I like to warm it up first using a brush. So I'm just gonna dip into the product with my brush, tap on a whole bunch, and just kind of tap it on the top of my hand, just so it's really blended. And I really like my blush high up, especially during the week when I'm really tired. I feel like this just helps to wake up my skin and wake up my face and my features. And just, I feel like it's a more flattering blush placement specifically on my face. I do think it's more flattering on most of my clients as well. Like I will usually do a blush placement that's a lot higher up because it gives like a little lift and a little sculpted effect on their cheeks. So tapping it in, not rubbing it. I usually get my blush on so quick in the morning, it's not even funny. It's like 2 seconds, I'm done. But just so you guys aren't like having to rewind this video to catch it, I'm gonna do it in like real time. And bringing it back just towards my temple a little bit. And then one of my favorite things on earth, I'm gonna take more of that blush and I'm gonna tap it in the center of my nose. This is like my everyday go-to complexion look. With whatever's left over, which is a tiny, tiny amount, I'm gonna sweep it across my forehead. And that is our blush. Blush is on, it's done. Now we're ready to set our face. So to set my under eye concealer, I'm gonna go in with another one of my favorite products. I know you guys see this all the time. You're probably so tired of me using this powder, but I can't stop using it, especially for like my everyday makeup. It's my go-to. I have started to powder my entire face less, and instead I focus a little more like on my T-zone and then under my eye because I don't want my concealer to crease. And I find that I like the look of it, especially on my skin. It's been really working for me and what I want my skin to look like. I don't want to be totally matted down, even though it's 1,000 degrees in LA right now. I still like to have that natural glow on the outskirts of my face and then keeping the inside of my face, like the center, a little more matte. So I'll be using the Givenchy prismelibrepowder. This is in number 3. It's like the rose toned powder. I'm going to take some of this. This is mine, but I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to dump it into a tissue. This is also like what I do every morning. I'll just pop a little bit on a tissue. Taking my same sponge I used earlier, but before I use this powder, I'm going to make sure there's no creasing that happened under my eyes. So I'm going to go over it one more time just using the tip of my beauty sponge. And we're looking good. I gotta say, that Colourpop concealer is so cheap. It's like $8 and it's a really good formula. So I'm going to turn it. You can see the side's, it's dirty, it's used, but this side's clean. I'm going to use the clean side to dip into my powder. And this takes like all of 2 seconds to set my under eye. So looking up, and I like to line it down the side of my nose, bring it down to my chin, take a little bit more. Just gonna hit this area, get the center of my forehead, but really just like the center, that's it. I need a little bit more powder for the other side of my face. A little more on the side of my nose. And just above my lip, because it is hot, and it's just gonna help a lot with like sweating. We're set. I'm gonna take a clean brush and just dust off any excess amount. I'm not trying to bake daily, so I'm just gonna dust off the excess. And so now we're gonna highlight, and I'm gonna use another product that's tried and true. I use it all the time on my channel and on my Instagram as well. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I want this to be a really authentic, like true daily makeup look that I have been doing for like the past 2 months, legitimately. So for that reason, I am going to include the highlighter that I travel with. I take it everywhere. Every travel job I go on, like this is a highlighter. This is the only highlighter that I'll pack. Like that's it. It's the only one that I'll pack with me. It's so gorgeous. I know it's hard to find. I know it's been sold out, so don't hate me. I'm sure it will come back soon, but this is a Dior. It's the Backstage Glow Face Palette. It's in the 001 Universal shade. There's a couple other shades as well to choose from, but this is the original one. And I also have one of these, a backup one of these in my makeup kit professionally. And that's another product too, where if I'm condensing my kit for a travel job, if I just pack this highlighter, I know that I can highlight every single skin tone I need to, and it's going to look beautiful. So for that reason alone, I had to use this one. So we're just gonna use that same powder brush that I dusted off my loose powder with. It's a MAC 116 brush. And what I really like to do, honestly, I just go like this. I just kind of grab almost all 4 colors, tap off the excess, hit the top of my cheek, hit the top of my nose, hit the very tip of my nose. I'll get a little swipe across my forehead, and that's it. That's all I highlight. It takes me 2 seconds to do. And I always get compliments when I wear this highlighter because it is so beautiful, and it really is like a very soft, beautiful highlight. It looks good on everyone. So to finish this up, to give you guys like an authentic way that I do my face makeup, I'm not going to include how I do my eyes because I don't want this video to be too long. I'll probably say that for another video. But I do want to just throw in how I do my lips for literally like on the go. Like if I'm in a quick hurry and I just want to like throw something on my lips so I look more complete, I'm going to show you guys what I use. I've been using the makeupforever Artist Pencil. This is in Anywhere Caffeine. So I'm going to line my lips. You can tell I need to sharpen this. I use this daily. I'm gonna rub it with my fingertip. And then I'm running low on this, but I love this so much and my lips are feeling dry, which they kind of have been lately. This is the Dior, it's the Color Reviver Balm. It's just like a tinted lip balm. This is in the shade, oh, it's the shade 001 Pink. Pop that on. And this is exactly how I go to work. This is my face makeup that you will see me in my everyday life going to work with. It takes me all of 10 minutes, honestly, maybe even less. It would definitely take me less if I wasn't talking. I would be knocking this out. So that completes this look. This is my everyday, like my true, authentic, everyday makeup look that I have been doing routinely since probably like the last 2 months. So if you guys know me in real life and you see my makeup, this is 90% of the time, this is what I'm wearing exactly. Thought it'd be fun to share it and show you guys that it doesn't take a ton of skill or a ton of time to just create a really pretty, flawless daily face makeup look. So if you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If any of these products are your go-tos as well for a daily makeup look, let me know in the comments. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do so you don't miss any of my videos. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Makeup by Nikki LaRose all over the place. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.